In this video, we're going to build this modern liquid glass navigation pane inside of Power BI completely from scratch. Let's jump in. Glass morphism and different variations of translucent elements have become very popular UI design trends recently. From Apple to Microsoft to Samsung, and the list goes on. We see this UI style a lot nowadays. And we can see why. It's a sleek, modern look. However, to implement this, you need to understand UX UI design principles so that you don't create accessibility issues. Now, once you've finished building this navigation pane with me, if you'd like to dive deeper into Power BI UX UI design principles, feel free to check out my course links in the description of this video. Also in the description of this video, you'll find a link to download the PowerPoint background files and icons that we're going to use in this demo. And once you've downloaded those files, go ahead and open up the PowerPoint deck and go to slide 1. Once you're on slide 1, you'll see the icons that we're going to use for this navigation pane. Now these are SVG icons that you can download from a website called pictogrammars.com. Simply look for the icons that you'd like, and then you can download them. Now, I've already went ahead and downloaded these icons for us to get started. So the first thing we're going to do is just delete this background shape. Next, we're going to select all 5 of these icons. Go to Shape Fill, More Fill Colors, and we're going to go with a hex code of 0D0D0D. And then while they're still selected, press Ctrl C and Ctrl V to paste. Change the fill color of those to white. Then go ahead and select all icons. Once you have all selected, go to the height under graphic format and type 38px and do the same for the width, 38px. Let's go ahead and select the white icons only by holding Control and left clicking. Let's go to Shape Fill, More Fill Colors. We're going to change the transparency to 40%. Next, we're going to go to Insert, Shape, Circle. Let's draw a circle, change the color to white, and the shape outline to white. Then go up to the height, change the height and the width to 58 pixels. So 58px, 58px. Then go ahead and copy that 4 more times. So Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. And we're just going to drag these circles right about here for now. Then we're going to select all of them. Control C, Control V, and drag these second versions over here to the right. Then while they're selected, go to Shape Fill, More Fill Colors. We're going to change the transparency to 60%, and then go to Shape Outline, More Outline Colors, change the transparency to 50%. And then while those are still selected, go to Shape Effects, 3D Rotation Options. Open up 3D Format, and then under Material, we're going to change it to Translucent Powder. All right, so the next step here is to place these icons on the circles. Before we do that, we want to make sure we select all of the icons, and then right-click, Bring to Front. Now take these second version icons and drag them all the way over here. And for each group, all we're going to do is hold Control and select the background and the icon that's going to be on top of it. So I have both selected. I'm going to go to Graphic Format. I'm going to Align Middle and Align Center. And then while they're still selected, I'm going to right-click, Group, Group. Let's do the same for the one below it. Select both, Graphic Format, Align Center, Align Middle. We're going to click Group and Group. Let's just keep going and do that for all of these. Now, once those are done, just do the same for the ones to the left. Hold Control, select both, Graphic Format, Align Center, Align Middle, Group. All right, so the next step here is to save all of these icons, and we're going to save them as SVG files. Before you save them, make sure your icons are in this exact order. So when I name these, I'm actually going to put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the beginning of the title. The ones on the left are going to be the active versions, and the ones on the right are going to be the inactive versions. The ones on the left, I'm going to include the word active. So let's do this first one. I'm going to right click, save as picture, create a folder that you'd like to save those icons in. So I'm naming this one dashboard underscore active. And under save as type, you're going to have to adjust each one to SVG and then just click save. So once you've saved those icons, just double check and make sure you saved them all as SVG files. After that, go back to your PowerPoint and go to this background slide right here. Right click on the slide and click new slide. Go back to the first slide and you're going to save this as a PNG file. So we'll go to File, Save As, and simply save it as a PNG image. Then go to your blank slide. Go to Insert, Picture, this device, find that image and insert it. After you've done that, go back to your first slide that has the actual layers on it. Then go to Insert, Shape, Rounded Rectangle. Draw a rounded rectangle. For the height, you're going to change it to 82 pixels. So 82px. Then I want you to drag it all the way over here. While you're left clicking and holding, we want to left align it with this right side visual group box. So when you see that red vertical line, letting us know we're left aligned with that box, you're going to let go. Then on the right hand side, you're going to left click and hold and just drag to the right till you see the right hand side red dotted vertical line. So now we've set our width, we've set our height. I'm going to move this up a little by clicking my up arrow key. I think that looks good. Next, you're going to select the yellow circle on the top left corner of the box, left click and hold it, and drag it all the way to the right to make the corner radius as round as you can. Next, you're going to go to Shape Fill. You're going to change it to white. You're going to change the shape outline to white. Go back into Shape Fill, choose More Fill Colors, change the transparency to 85%. Then go to Shape Outline, More Outline Colors, change that transparency to 50%. Next, you're going to select the shape, right-click, Format Shape. We're going to go to Effects, and then under 3D Format, Top Bevel, you're going to select the cutout option, and you can leave width at 6 and height at 6. Now, if we zoom in here a little bit, we can see this looks pretty good, right? We have this nice navigation box, and we can clearly see behind it. However, we're going to take this up a level. What if you wanted to create this blur effect within the background behind this? I'm going to show you a little trick on how to do this. We're going to select our shape that we just made and copy it. Now go to that slide where our background was a complete image. So it's the one with no shapes on it. And then paste that navigation shape on this slide. So the next thing you want to do in the bottom right corner, make sure you click Fit Slide to Current Window. Select the image. Under Picture Format, we're going to go to Crop, Crop. We're going to left click and hold on the bottom, middle, and we're going to stop when we see that red horizontal dotted line. So that's letting us know that we're touching that background shape that we pasted here. Now we'll do the top, same thing. Stop when we see that red dotted horizontal line. We'll do the left side. We'll stop when we see the red vertical dotted line right there. And then we're going to do the same for the right side. We can see that red vertical dotted line. Stop there. Let's zoom in a little bit. So now that we've cropped that image to the dimensions of our navigation pane background, we can take this and delete it. We don't need the shape anymore. Now we're going to click on the image again and go to Picture Format, Crop, Crop to Shape, and you're going to select Rounded Rectangle. In the top left corner where you see that yellow circle, you're going to left click and hold, and drag it all the way to the right to make the border radius as circular as you can make it. The next step would be to right click on this image and go to Format Picture. Under artistic effects, you're going to select blur. And for the radius, I'm going to go with 15. All right, now what we're going to do is zoom back out. We're going to select it, right click copy, go to our actual background, paste it in. Now let's place it over here. Select the navigation pane background shape, right click, bring to front, because we want this on top of that blur effect. Now after that, you can select both and align them. So we'll go picture format, align left, align top. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see our effect here. That's pretty cool, right? You can see this little blur effect. If we were to compare it to a version without the blur effect, you can see the difference. Now you'll notice I have another slide on here just to allow you to practice if you want to try that one more time on a different background. All right, so now let's take this completed background and save it as a PNG. File, save as, save it to the folder that you have your icons in. Next, you're going to open up Power BI, go to a blank page. Under Canvas background, you're going to click Browse and go find that image that you just saved. Change your image size to stretch, and then I'm going to go to View, Page View, Actual Size. Next, we're going to go to Insert, Button, Blank Button. Drag it right over here. Under General, Properties, we're going to make the height 40 and the width 75. Let's switch to Button Settings, open up Style. Leave it on the default state, turn text on, leave it blank. We're going to change the font to Sego UI semi-bold with a size of 9 and a color of white. Horizontal and vertical will be middle aligned. For the padding, you're going to change it to 0 on all 4 sides. Turn border off, fill on, open up fill, change the transparency to 100%, and the color should be white. Next, you're going to open up icon. For icon type, you're going to click custom. So this first button is going to be our dashboard active button. We're going to go find that SVG file. So here it is. I'm going to click open. We're going to leave the image fit as fit. We're going to middle align horizontally and middle align vertically. Change the padding on all 4 sides to 0. Now let's scroll all the way back to the top and change our style from default to on hover. For the text, we're going to type dashboard. I'm going to scroll down, select middle for the horizontal and middle for the vertical. Under the padding, you may notice a little glitch, so it won't say 0 on a certain side. If you see that, just click 0. And we will check this padding one last time as well. We want to make sure our padding is 0 for the text and for the icon. So let's keep scrolling down. For icon, we don't want to see an icon on hover. So we're going to remove file, change it to blank. Make sure horizontal and vertical is middle. And then if you see that little glitch where it threw in some pixels, 0 those out. So I can see so far that's looking good. Now go down to fill, and we're going to change the fill to 75%. Next, we're going to scroll all the way to the top. Under shape, we're going to change it to on hover, and then we're going to change the shape to rounded rectangle, and we're going to change the corner radius to 45%. Go ahead and change that on hover back to default. Scroll down, change the state to default. For the style, if you see that little glitch, change it to 0 under padding. And then for icon, same thing. Click out. We'll zoom in, take a look. And that looks good. Next, we're going to take this button that we just created and we're going to duplicate it 4 times. So Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. Place the last one right about here. Place the middle ones down here, and then place the top one up here. Next, we're going to zoom in very close, basically as close as you can go. You're going to left click and hold on the button, and we're going to stop when the edges of our button are touching the edges of the corner radius. So right there to me looks really good. Now we're going to do the same with this one, Right about there looks good to me. We're going to select both of these buttons by holding Control. Zoom out a little bit. Format, align top. Now we'll select all of the buttons by holding Control and left-clicking them all. Align top, distribute horizontally. And now if you have this slight little overlap, what you're going to want to do is just click on the first button to the left, click your left arrow about 10 times. Then we'll go to this side and do the same thing. Click it to the right 10 times. And we'll select all those buttons again. Format, distribute horizontally. So now we've corrected that overlap and our buttons are good. We can zoom back out. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is select these other buttons one at a time and change them out with the icons that they're supposed to be, along with changing the text. So this first one here is going to be period. So under style, I'm going to open up icon and go find that period active one. And then I'm just going to do the same for the rest of them here. Once you've done that, you're going to change your style to on hover, so that way you can update your text. So we can name this one table or export. Next one will be region. The middle one will be product. Next one will be period. And we're all done. So the next thing we want to do is go to view selections, select all of those buttons by holding Control, right click, group. We'll call this nav active. We're going to open it up. We're going to reorder these accordingly. And then we're going to rename these buttons with friendly names so we can identify them easier later on. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so as you can see, I've renamed these accordingly and they're all in order with numbers, and the A represents active. Now let's select that whole group, Control C, Control V, drag the second group down and to the right, select both groups, go to Format, Align Top, Align Left. For the second group below, in the selection pane, we're going to change the name by removing active. We're going to hide the active ones, open up the new group, and just remove those A's because this is going to be our inactive group. All right, next we're going to go one at a time and select these buttons and switch them to our inactive versions. So right now I'm selecting the dash. I'm going to go to Style, make sure I'm on my default state. Go to Icon, and we're going to change Dashboard Active to Dashboard. Let's do the next one. This will be period, product. Next one is region, and our next one is table. And our text is already done because we did that with the active buttons earlier. I'm going to do one little adjustment here for group nav. We're going to hide the inactive one, show the active one for dashboard because we're on the dashboard page right here. Let's zoom in and take a look. So we just created a really cool navigation pane, but we have to be aware of accessibility. For example, notice how our active button pops right out due to the contrast difference between the inactive buttons to the right of it here. Also notice how when we hover over the icons, we switched it to the text. So then that way the user will always know exactly where they'll go when they click on these buttons. Also, just be careful making your transparency or your inactive buttons too high, because if it blends in too much with the background, it's going to be hard for the user to see it. I really hope you enjoyed this video on how to make Power BI liquid glass navigation panes. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification button. That way you'll be notified when I come out with additional videos related to Power BI UX UI design. And if you're looking for a course on Power BI UX UI design, make sure to check out the description of this video where I have a link to my course, 14 Days to Mastering Power BI UX UI Design.